Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Nerds with Mics. I'm Travis.
I'm Justin.
This is so disturbing, bro. I can't.
It is.
I can't with you.
You know what? That makes me want to cry.
I should never have showed you this software. This may have been the worst idea I've ever had.
I love it.
Anyways, welcome everyone to this episode. This is episode 136. And today we have a packed show. Really, we're just going to be talking about what we've been up to. And then we kind of have a overarching topic around franchise fatigue, not only in the movie industry, but also TV show and video game as well. But without further ado, I want to get right into it. And number one, thank you for everybody that is viewing or listening, whichever platform you're listening on. But we do appreciate you turning in as always. And yeah, but without further ado, Justin, let's get into what we have been up to. So why don't we start with you, good sir?
Oh, all right. So I've been playing a little Diablo 4. Just kind of progressing my character a little bit. Not a whole lot, not as much as I would like to be playing it. But I'll get there eventually. I started watching Silo on your recommendation. I believe it was last week you mentioned it. Man, that's a good show. We're only 2 episodes in, but those first 2 are very, very strong. Highly recommend it. It's not like when I say it's like a mystery box show, it seems like, kind of like Lost was. Obviously, there's no island in place, but there's like I have more questions than I have answers. And then Righteous Gemstones came back last night. 2 episodes. Didn't know it was going to be 2.
Came out strong.
It did. Like I was always like I was kind of hesitant. Like, will this be super like super good? You know, funny. I don't know. Coming off of Barry, and we've been watching What We Do in the Shadows. I was just kind of afraid to start up another comedy, but man, they came out swinging last night with 2 really solid episodes. And as always, I feel like they do a good job at like presenting a drama wrapped in comedy almost, where like the things that are happening are kind of dark and twisted, but it's just so hilarious. Like Barry couldn't quite nail that. Like it would go like super dark with like a little bit of comedy. This is like hilarious, but like kind of a dark storyline. Always has been. And then the Final Fantasy 16 demo. Oh my god. So good. Played through it once, and I actually almost just finished my second playthrough of it again today.
How long's the
Uh,
demo if
it's
you're
like
just playing?
like 2 hours. Well, it's
Oh,
like 2 hours, but then once you beat the demo, there's a mode you can go into as Clive, like a later version, like a late stage version of Clive in the game where he has like more powers, so you just like test it out and get an idea of what to expect. But this is the prologue. This is actually like the first 2 hours of the actual game, and if you play the demo and beat those 2 hours or save it in the middle, whatever you want to do, your game save from the demo carries over to the main game when it comes out on Thursday. So it's not like you're wasting time by playing it. You're going to play it again. Whatever you do in the demo is going to carry over. My friend Connor, he was not going to buy the game. He was like, "Nah, I'm not going to buy it. I'll play it later." Blah blah blah. He got the demo, played through it, and pre-ordered it immediately after. So, yeah, it's real good. Can't wait to play the full game.
yeah, no, I am really excited for that. I tell you, you had me. I played it per recommendation. Is that your week? If so, I'll just kind of hop into mine. What
It's
else
my
you got?
week as far as I can remember. Oh, did I mention Silo? Yeah, I mentioned Silo. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about the. I got so wrapped up in Final Fantasy.
No, you're good. So I myself, I had a pretty busy week. Number one, I don't know if he's watching or listening, but I was telling my friend Alex that somehow it came up that we were talking about Magic, and Magic the Gathering, the card game, and I told him, hey, you should really check it out because I think one of our friends, Preston, he plays a lot of Marvel Snap, and I was telling him about how
Love
I used
Marvel
to.
Snap.
Yeah, I was telling him how I used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and Alex had told me, he said, hey, did you know that, I know how it started. So he said, hey, did you see these Lord of the Rings cards that Magic is doing? And he's like, I've never played it. I was like, oh, I used to play Magic all the time. And I was like, yeah, I used to play a ton, but I don't really have anybody to play with here. And let me tell you, this guy goes to his comic shop just to look for comics. And then the next thing I know, he sends me a picture of all this Magic the Gathering stuff. And I don't know if it's going to work. It may blur it out. But I bought a set of Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering cards here. And yeah, see, I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, I didn't think so. But anyways, so I bought that. So that was how I spent some money last week. Today we actually got together and I actually taught him how to play a little bit of Magic the Gathering today, and that was really fun. We went and hung out at a coffee shop, and then we went and saw Flash, the new Flash movie, which was, dare I say, less than stellar. You know, if you're a DC fan, that's great. Like, I also love DC. I love the Christopher Nolan Batmans. I even like some of the DC movies. I thought Wonder Woman, the first one, was great. The first Shazam was okay. However, this movie was severely hyped up, and I went into it thinking, I'll be honest, I was torn whether or not I wanted to see it. This is something that Alex and I also talked about because Ezra Miller as a person is a terrible human being. I did not want to go to see this movie because I didn't want to support it. But there's obviously other things about the movie that I was interested in seeing as far as where it takes the DC universe, but also like Michael Keaton's in the movie, right? So I wanted to see about that. Anyways, James Gunn came out and touted that this is one of the best, if not the best, superhero movie ever made. Tom Cruise liked it so much that he cold called the director specifically to tell him how good the movie was. So I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of hype around this. It has to be decent, right? 10 out of 10 would not recommend. I mean, it's just, I mean, there was very few scenes that were good. But let me tell you, the CGI in this movie is probably some of the worst CGI I've seen in any modern movie at all.
Dang.
Like, yeah. And you think about how far we've come with CGI. You think about, I mean, obviously John Favreau's great, doing stuff with what he does and like live action Lion King and what he's done for The Mandalorian and all this stuff. But let me tell you, I was telling Alex today after the movie, we were walking out in the parking lot. I said, the CGI is bad when you look at the CGI from Green Lantern and it holds up better than this movie.
Oh, that's bad.
But you watch it and you tell me what you think. When it comes to like human character models and some of the things they've done, that's not to say the whole movie's awful, but when they were trying to like do CGI for like people and things like that, it was awful.
Yeah.
But anyways, before I get any farther into my week, I do want to take a quick break to bring in some of these comments.
Yeah, we had a few come in while you're talking.
Yeah. Go. So Kevin said that he was not a friendly Diablo player. I assume maybe that means he's not a fan of maybe the Diablo games. Justin said, and of course Justin's always showing up, so we do appreciate it. He says, "Put those sweet voices deep in my ear hole, you glorious bastards. We're here for it, and we will do that. We'll get real close and talk real nice like." But anyways, and then also Kevin wrote in and says, "What are you drinking that you can't remember your week, Justin?" Oh, Diet Coke.
Not a sponsor.
All that aspartame. That's why you can't remember.
It's eating my brain slowly but surely. No, I actually I don't know. I don't know why I can't remember my week that well.
Well, this is also your first week back from vacations, and you also
last week I was back.
Yeah, you also been incredibly busy with work this week too.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I've kind of shut my brain down the last few days. So
yeah,
this is like the most active it's had to be in the last 3 days. So
yeah. Kevin also you're fine. Kevin also said going to see Indiana Jones on the 29th. I am excited about that movie, although the reviews on that also have not been stellar. Justin said, I'm assuming this says it was okay. It was a Batman movie with a Flash in it. I will say Michael Keaton was probably the best part about that movie. Also, I loved it, but I was a player killer.
Oh, wow.
Fair enough.
So Indiana Jones, you mentioned that it has a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I do not care. I want to see that movie so bad. I cannot wait. No amount of bad reviews will keep me from seeing that one. So I'm also excited for it.
Yeah, and also I know this is one of the last, if not the last movie, I think that John Williams is scoring. So
he always says that. I mean,
I don't know. He is getting up there in age. So who knows?
True. Yeah, the universe might decide that he's done.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
So there it is. Look at that. Totally
There's
just
your background.
Foobarred that. That's what my world would looks like. Anyways, so other than that, a couple things. One, I also watched Silo. That show is getting incredibly good. They're on episode 8, I believe. 2 more episodes left. I've also been playing Diablo 4. I played with a group of friends. We finished the second act. I'm 25, I think. I'm planning on maybe playing some tonight, leveling after we record. Still playing Hogwarts Legacy, and then per your recommendation, I started I Think You Should Leave on Netflix.
Yeah, how far did you get?
I think I'm in season 3 now already.
Did you get to the sketch with the ponytail?
I don't think so yet.
Man, when you get there, that sketch, honestly, like I think about it every single day. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about that sketch.
Oh wait, no. I think I did see that one, but I finally realized where a lot of memes came from that I didn't know where they came from. He's like,
"Oh yeah,
what's that one?" He says, "Are you sure about that?
You sure about that?
You sure?
You sure about?"
But it's good.
The folks in Spectrum think I'm just some dumb hick.
Yeah,
they said that to me at a dinner.
Yeah. Also, one thing
about this show all day.
I bought a new handheld.
Is that a Vita?
No, this is the Asus ROG Ally. This is basically similar to the Steam Deck and a lot of other handheld consoles. However, I've been playing with this.
Back up there. Let's see it.
I don't know if it. I got to figure that out. Yeah. So this, and there's my face on it.
Look at that.
Has a little fingerprint reader. I can just log right in.
Oh, that's cool.
Might help if I use the right hand. But anyways, so yes, I've been playing with this. I also did an unboxing on our channel. So if you want to check that out, I've been playing with it for about a week. Thoroughly enjoying it so far. But other than that, that has been my week. It's been a fairly busy week. Also went to trivia. Felt like we got robbed at trivia this week. We were somehow in 5th and got passed. We should have been in 3rd at least. And I was pretty salty about it. But that's neither here nor there.
Give us some questions that you had at trivia. I'm curious what they ask. I've never gone to trivia before.
I'm not going to give you those questions. That's insider information.
One question.
One question?
Yeah. Ask me one question that you got wrong, and let's see if I can get it right.
God, I'm trying to think of what questions we even had, to be honest. See, that's how little that we've missed.
Okay.
I just want you to know. But if I think about one during the show, I will let you know.
I love trivia. We should do trivia night with the listeners.
Ooh, good call. 'Cause
Live trivia.
I'll tell you what, I got a new game called Mind the Gap. It's a trivia from boomers all the way up to
Like my grandparents?
Gen Z. Yeah.
Oh,
It
I thought you were
spans
joking when you said
no.
boomers.
It spans the whole gap. So when you go
That's
around the
cool.
board, you'll be in a section with like stuff that's for boomers, and then you go work your all the way around. So if you're
Okay.
playing with a large group that span in age, it's really good for that. I actually played it last night, had a game night at Alex's house. Him and I strategized and we said, we're going to start in the boomer section because I will tell you that is the hardest section.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Give me one question from the boomer section. Let's see if I can get it.
to be honest with you,
Travis.
I tell you what, I'll go grab my cards here in a minute and I'll just read you something. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. No, that'd be great. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
But anyways,
Let people in the chat also.
I will tell you, the first time that we played, we stayed in the boomer section for at least, I'm trying to think of how long. We at least was there for probably the first, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes before. Oh, look who this is.
Yeah, look who's in the chat tonight.
Mystique Siren coming in to say hello. Our good friend Emily. Hello,
she
hello.
also is telling us to get on Diablo. So we're going to wrap this show up. We're going to hop on some Diablo. You'll find us there. No.
Yes.
That'd be fun, though.
Yeah, I actually sat in on her stream for a little bit the other night, actually, and hung out for a little bit. It was a good time. Miss you so much. But yeah, we definitely need to do that. Food Bar is good. Also recommend Burn. Okay.
And also, I just found out that we can pop up little images in the comments. I had no idea.
I love that little that
Pedro
one.
Pascal.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, we'll come play Diablo with you for sure. But thank you for coming and hanging out.
Oh no, we're not ignoring you. We're getting through some of the stuff.
Yeah, we have so many comments. I'm sorry, Emily. We're not ignoring you, I promise. But anyways, but yes, thank you so much for hanging out and just with us. But our main topic tonight that we wanted to get into, Justin, is there anything you want to talk about before we get into our big topic?
I mean, I could talk about the Final Fantasy 16 demo some more,
yeah, I meant to actually. So I also played that demo per your recommendation, but I didn't get to spend but like maybe 45 minutes with it because I literally watched Gemstones leading up to us recording, and then right after that, I went into playing this demo. Was thoroughly impressed with Gemstones. Your video is like going crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's weird.
But anyways, I will say I was thoroughly impressed with how Gemstones started. You know, going into, is this the third season now or fourth?
Yeah, third.
Yeah, I always get concerned as seasons progress and they pass that second season mark because you always are kind of concerned. Look at it. We have our own little troll, Mystique.
I can't tell who that face is.
I can't either, but I love it. But anyways, so our overarching theme for tonight, our topic, if you will, is franchise fatigue. And no, this isn't something that I wanted to throw up here just because of the experience I had watching The Flash today. That was prior to this. This was just something Justin and I talked about. And you know, we had decided that like when we talked about franchise fatigue, we didn't want to just stick with movies or TV. We wanted to just kind of talk about franchise fatigue as a whole in the industry, right? You know, whether that be a movie, a TV show, a game. So that's one thing that we really wanted to dive into and talk about, you know, what the issue is with that, maybe why it's happening, and in combination, also wanted to talk about maybe what are some things that maybe they can do to help, you know, reduce, you know, that franchise fatigue. So, Justin, I know that you had a couple franchises that you wanted to speak about specifically.
Give me 1 second. Will you take over while I fix my camera problem?
Yeah, for sure. Right. So one thing I will say that I wanted to talk about in regards to that is when it comes to that. So in recent years, obviously, you know, I feel like the entertainment industry has really witnessed a remarkable surge in franchises, you know, dominating the landscape, whether it's movies, TV shows, video games. You know, while obviously the rise of franchises is great and it helps with popularity and financial success, you know, this also, I think, causes a growing concern specifically about like franchise fatigue in general. So tonight, that's why we really want to talk about this and what the concept actually is, the causes, and obviously the potential impact that I think that it has on the industry. So we really just wanted to kind of like break this up into different categories. So really, you know, obviously I want to talk about like the franchise, like the era of franchises, right? So when you think about franchises, so I think about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think about Star Wars, I think about Game of Thrones, I think about franchises like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, maybe Far Cry. Um,
Would
I
you
think a
count?
lot of
Would
what
you count like yearly sports video game releases? I don't think I would, but I'm also tired of them. Tired of them at the same time.
well, here's the thing, like I really feel like sports games I feel like could be essentially released once every 3 or 4 years, but simply just keep updating the roster every year. You know what I
They're
mean? I
not. I
think
mean,
they're
but that
not
can
going to
get
do that. Obviously, those are cash grabs.
especially
It's FIFA.
yeah, yeah. Especially
So
now they're going up to $70 a game. They're getting an extra $10 off of us, and I mean, why stop? I mean, I feel like FIFA, NBA, and Madden are consistently in the top of the sales charts. So like, there's no reason for them to slow down.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, also Emily, I just want to say, yeah, she called out Foundation's coming soon. Did you watch Foundation, Justin, the
I
first season?
didn't. I didn't. I need to do that. That might be on my list.
Yes, you definitely need to. I think it's. I mean, they're only one season in, so this may be ridiculous to say, but it's one of the best sci-fi shows that I've seen in a long, long time. But yeah, so really excited about that. Also, Kevin said golf franchises are going backwards. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I feel like we very rarely get a good installment of a golf game,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, so I mean, to your point, I don't feel the fatigue necessarily that much with sports games, but also that probably is because I don't really play a whole lot of sports games, not as
Yeah.
much as you. You play a
No.
fair amount.
I mean, to be honest, I'm part of the problem. I mean, I get Madden every year. I mean, I'm sitting here complaining about it. I get Madden every year, NBA every year, FIFA every year, sometimes NHL, depending on how I'm feeling. So, uh, yeah, I'm the problem. So
You are the problem.
I am. Yeah,
Cue the Taylor Swift song because you're the problem.
I'm
You're
the
the ant.
problem.
Yep. But really, so when I think about what was the game, so you're now that you're done fixing your camera, I know that there was some stuff, some games specifically, or maybe some franchises that you want to talk about specifically.
So yeah, like the one that kind of comes to mind right now, it kind of ties into what we talked about a few weeks ago with games being just too big, but it would be not Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. They're pumping out games pretty regularly for that series, and they're massive, and like I feel like you could look at Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, and like while they are three separate games, they feel very, very similar. Um, Not to mention when Ubisoft announced where they were going with the Assassin's Creed franchise like a few months ago, not the newest Ubisoft Forward, but a few months ago, they announced what felt like 5 or 6 Assassin's Creed games. So like slow it down. Like now again, I'm the problem. I own all of them and I'm probably gonna get Mirage when it comes out because it looks really freaking good. But like I'm not excited about it like I used to be. Like when they first announced like Assassin's Creed Black Flag or even Assassin's Creed 2, I remember there was like a hype around it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this is a major game that's about to come out. And now it just feels like, oh, well, it's been 2 or 3 years. Time for another Assassin's Creed game, you know? And that's kind of how I feel too with like Marvel movies now. And even like the TV shows on Disney Plus. I'm going to pivot a little bit if that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, like, I remember when the Infinity Saga ended, right? I mean, it ended on an excellent note, right? Infinity War, Endgame, excellent movies. And then like they're like Disney Plus is launching, and we're gonna get a show called WandaVision. And I was so pumped for WandaVision, and I liked it. And then we got, I think after that one, was it Loki after that one? What came out after WandaVision? Or was that
Loki.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I think it was Loki, then Captain, or Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. And like they were good, but I was starting to trail off a little bit. And then it feels just like every few weeks, it's like we have this one, we have this one, we have this one, we have this one. And like honestly, I just stopped trying to keep up. Same thing with the movies. I saw Doctor Strange 2. I think that was this year. That may have been last year. Even like that's where we are now. I don't even know when these movies have come out. I didn't see Wakanda Forever. I didn't see Ant-Man. I did see Guardians. But like, I mean, it's just like a lot to keep up with at this point, and like they just keep pumping them out at such a rapid rate that like they're not really special anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not like I get it though because I feel like they do pretty well financially. Although I do think where like the Flash didn't do that great. And I do think the Marvel movies have been down kind of overall, but honestly, that's probably because you know that a movie's coming out, let's say like March 1st, and then by the middle of April, it's on Disney Plus. Like if I just wait, a month and a half, 2 months, I can just watch it at home. I don't have to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, before I move on, I did want to bring up this comment from Kevin. It said, I bailed on Assassin's Creed when they ditched multiplayer, which I know when they had multiplayer, that was one thing that took them a while to get right. But then once they got it right, it was pretty fun. But then I think once they realized what kind of disaster that was, or the way that they executed on that, they just decided to walk away from it. But
I love that multiplayer too, where like you had a target, like you had someone as a target and someone had you as a target.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, I really, really liked that. I walked away from Assassin's Creed when the games just felt like they got so big. I just got lost in them and I just felt overwhelmed. Plus, don't get me wrong, I love RPGs, but I felt like when they leaned more into the RPG element and when Breath of the Wild came out and they changed the fighting formula to basically match what that was, versus like the simple parry. It was more like Shadow War and a lot of in Batman Arkham games. They decided to completely shift away from that. That's when I actually stopped caring. Black Flag, I also agree. Black Flag is by far the best for me. I love the ship aspect, taking over forts, hunting, wildlife in the sea. Like it was just really, really cool. But yeah, so let's talk about, obviously you kind of already alluded to some of it is in regards to like what causes franchise fatigue, right? So I know that like you've made it abundantly clear, like repetition and lack of innovation, I feel like is a big thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I was talking about, with Alex after we watched The Flash as well, is like, it seems like when Marvel started the first run leading up to obviously the Avengers games, right? Everybody had like their own movie, told an origin. What?
The Avengers games?
The Avengers movies is what I meant to say. If I said games, I apologize. But anyways,
games. Who would win a Hunger Games style Avenger free for all?
I would say the Hulk if I had to guess, but I don't know.
I don't think it'd be him. No, I think
no. Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda.
Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, where they all had taken the time to basically lay out the blueprint leading up to this, right? And obviously that first run was successful. Now I feel like everybody's just trying to repeat the Marvel formula.
Yeah.
But I feel like they've gotten, and this isn't just with Marvel, but just in general, I feel like a lot of people are just getting lazy with writing and how they approach it. You know what I mean? It's like, especially as fast as they're turning out these Disney Plus shows with like Star Wars content, things like that. And the thing that I've always wished that DC would do is take the time to simply slow down and just play the long game. I feel like all they have been trying to do is play catch up with Marvel because they've already done all this stuff. But instead of going back and truly doing origin stories movie by movie, they just try to like speed things up and it's just a cluster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And DC, when they tried to crank out like an Avengers level movie with Justice League as quick as they did, like what a disaster. I mean, I'm glad James Gunn is over there. I'm hoping that we can see that franchise become, I don't know, better. Also, I like that your cup went invisible when you did that. Yeah. Oh, where'd it go?
Yep. I don't know. I thought the same thing. I'm going to stop you right there and then you can finish your statement. I thought the same thing. But once again, he wouldn't watch the Flash movie and he was okay letting that out into the wild.
Well, I mean, it's already done at that point. And the best thing you can do is say, well, I wasn't here. This movie sucks. You got to be a team player. I don't think what he said was like uncalled for. You're going to back your movie, even if it wasn't your movie. You're going to back it regardless.
You're going to back over the studio that you just took over. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're not going to go up there before it comes out to and say, man, this movie kind of sucks. You're going to try to get people out to see it. But I don't know. DC, I've said this before. DC was actually like my preferred comic book movie studio, I guess. Like Batman was my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
He still is, honestly. It's just that, well, I guess we do have the Robert Pattinson movies now, but whenever they released Batman vs Superman and I stopped watching after an hour, still haven't finished it, that's when I was like, it's time to watch these Marvel movies. And like, I haven't always been a Marvel fan. Like, it's something that came as a result of DC being absolutely garbage. And now we're at the point where Marvel's just pushing crap out like 5 or 6 movies a year. It seems like none of them are exceptionally great. And now DC's hopefully starting to figure their thing out. So maybe I'll just bounce back and forth while they try to.
I hope so. But to your point, I'll be honest, and this may be a hot take. And if anybody in the comments wants to put me on blast, that's perfectly fine. Also, if you want to put in some of the things that you find you're having franchise fatigue with, feel free to put that in there. If there's things that you think are franchise fatigues that aren't to you, put that in there as well. But what I will tell you is if I had to go see Flash or Batman versus Superman, I will go see Batman versus Superman all day long. I'm just telling you
That's
that.
not good. Then I wish you wouldn't have said that, because now I'll probably
I
never watch the Flash.
I said that was a hot take for me. But if this is the actual guy that I wouldn't watch.
Flash was trash. Let's get it trending.
Hashtag Flash was trash.
Oh
Let's
my
get it trending.
gosh. So does it at least do enough for fan service to make it worth checking out? Oh,
What's
apparently
this
not.
tell you? 0 out of 5 would
would not
recommend.
Wow, it's that bad.
I thought, here's the thing. I thought going to this, if anything, with them messing with the timeline and all the multiverse, I would have thought that I was going to see it more for the fan service, but I will
Yeah.
tell you, the things that they did for fan service was not great. And to Alex's point, Flash is his favorite hero, and he's telling you 0 out of 5
sucks.
wouldn't recommend, and that's his favorite character. So
That sucks.
and I will tell you, you drop in TV Flash, probably would have made it better. But to be fair, I will tell you, and this isn't a spoiler because this has already been said, they recorded footage of him to be in it, but they chose to cut his scene from it because of time and whatever. They had to make cuts, right? I will say they did him a favor by not putting him in that movie. That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm starting to get into the weeds, so I apologize.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, anyways, so I think obviously like audiences, I think when it comes to repetition and lack of innovation, that's where I think sometimes the formula approach, when it was sequels, prequels, spinoffs, and churning just content out for the sake of having it out, I feel like a lot of times it's just cash grabs, and I hate it.
And I don't know if every character in the MCU has to have a movie. Like, so this is going to be kind of a weird example, but look at the Hulk, right? Like, yeah, he had a couple movies back in the day, neither starring Mark Ruffalo, but he's kind of been just fine cruising along, tagging along other people's movies. You know what I mean? I just don't know if everyone has to have a movie. Like Scarlet Witch didn't get her own movie, but she kind of did with Doctor Strange too. Even though that movie wasn't super great, she still kind of got her movie. So like, I just don't know if we need like, Squirrel Girl, the movie, I think we can just kind of like roll with her being a background player in someone else's movie.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then to Alex's point, he put in comments, he said that many people won't even get if they don't know the backstory, like as far as like talking about cameos, because like unless you know the backstory, some of these cameos won't even make sense to you. So yeah, no, that's a fair point. But yeah, so I also think too, obviously, a cause of franchise fatigue. One of the things we wanted to mention is just overexposure. I mean, I think we've abundantly made that clear. That's a lot of what we're talking about. Obviously, the constant bombardment with franchise-related content can really lead to oversaturation, right? Whether it's movies, TV shows, video games. I think often when they release stuff too quickly, it obviously just leaves the market oversaturated. Craven does not need a movie. Okay.
It's a comment from Justin.
Yeah, that's from Justin. And then also Kevin wrote in, as a kid, Lou Ferrigno Hulk was probably the best thing I had seen back then. Rough all is a great Hulk. Yeah.
Ruffalo. I think it auto-corrected funny.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, I agree. He does a good job.
He does. He's awesome. And like, if they announced a movie for just the Hulk with him, I'd be like, God, do we need this?
Yeah.
I think the answer is no.
Yeah, and I think before I go on, Alex says here, he says, especially from Sony, this is a comment from Alex, says, especially from Sony that hasn't proven they can't do an anti-hero movie. I assume he's referring to Venom, right?
That and probably Morbius as well.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about more. I never watched that movie, and I don't know if I ever will, to be completely honest.
The trailer for Craven like didn't look terrible, but at the same time, I thought, God, I will never see this.
Yeah.
Nothing about it drew me into it.
Yeah, 100%. Also, the third point we wanted to make when we talk about the causing of franchise fatigue, and I think we also already alluded to it, is obviously just the overall diminishing quality, right? So like, I feel like this. I definitely feel like the standard and the quality of the material that they're putting out there has definitely been reduced. Not only I think from like a storytelling's perspective, but for some odd reason, I feel like the later Marvel movies, the visual effects has also went down a little bit as well, especially like with some of the stuff they're doing on Disney Plus. I don't know if you feel the same way about that in regards to just the overall quality with not only storytelling but also visual effects.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been one to pick on the visual effects that much. Although that's a constant theme, I feel like, for some of the movies, especially recently. I want to say Ant-Man kind of got railed for that, and now I'm hearing The Flash is pretty bad. Um, I actually just don't really think I notice or care. Like, I mean, I didn't see Ant-Man, so I can't talk about it. I haven't seen The Flash, so I can't talk about it. I thought that Guardians 3 looked really good. Um, but I'm sure somebody out there says it looks like garbage, but I thought it looked great.
Yeah, yeah. Now that is the exception. I really, really did like that. Did you like Guardians? I assume you like Guardians more than Thor, right?
So funny you should mention that.
Oh,
I have seen every single Marvel movie except any of the Thors. I've seen none of the Thors.
oh, fair enough. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
hate.
know why. I don't know why.
You haven't seen any of them?
No,
You
I
haven't even
just
seen
skipped them.
You haven't seen Ragnarok? Like, if you're gonna
Mm-mm.
watch one, that's the one to watch, and I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah. It's on my list.
that in turn, in my opinion, once again, this may be a hot take. In my opinion, I think because the energy and just the comedy and action combination was done so well in Thor Ragnarok,
Yeah,
everybody has tried to recreate that, and I think that's been part of the problem going forward after that movie,
yeah.
especially with the Thor movies, but I think we've seen it spilled in some of the other movies as well. But anyways, so next we want to talk about obviously the impact that this has on the industry, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Alex said before we move on, he said Ragnarok is the Hulk movie you say he hasn't gotten.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Because that really was just as much about him as it was Thor, which is oddly enough. So good point. Thank you. And then maybe that's why it's one of my favorites. But anyways, when it comes to that, so I think the first part of the impact on entertainment industry is obviously audience fatigue, because that's one of the reasons we're even having this topic, right?
Yeah.
Is the fact that just us as an audience, viewers, gamers, whatever it is, in whatever industry that you are feeling this in, definitely comes from that. And I think that causes, audiences to become, unengaged, not interested. And this is typically where you find people seeking other forms of entertainment, whether that be you go from playing Call of Duty to playing Battlefield, you go from watching Marvel movies to watching DC movies, whatever it may be. Typically, this is where you start to see people make a shift of some kind. Uh, Maybe you don't like watching NFL football because of politics now, so you decide to start watching a different sport, whatever it may be. It could be anything. But I think it all starts around audience fatigue. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's like boycotts for the Marvel movies because of any sort of. I know there's a whole political thing in Florida and all that stuff, but I don't know if that
Florida.
actually plays a part in like the movies. I mean, I'm sure some people may be like, meh, Disney, but um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the same people that, and I'm not like trying to like take a stance or anything here, but like I feel like the same people that said like, "Oh, I'm done with the NFL," are the same people that like share NFL posts on social media. So I think it's just like more of a boycott in the sense like I'm saying this, but I'm not necessarily doing this.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's not what I wasn't alluding to specifically
Gotcha.
politics. I'm just talking about people switching their viewership just based on being fatigued for some reason.
Yeah, but like I don't. That's a weird thing because I kind of feel like I'm in that boat, but I'm not like actively doing it. I'm not like, well, I'm not going to go see Quantumania. It's just that I just didn't go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I didn't like consciously make the decision to not go. I just didn't make the time to go.
yeah,
That's weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I guess I lack the desire to go.
yeah.
Like when I saw the trailers, I was like, oh, I'm going to go see that. And then I just didn't do it. So, and I still haven't. I think it's on Disney Plus right now. I still have not sat down and put it on. I could do that any day. I just haven't
Yeah.
done it.
You definitely
Um,
should do yourself a favor and watch Ragnarok at least, even if you don't
yeah,
plan on
yeah,
watching any of the other ones, to be honest with you, because it is worth a watch for sure.
yeah. I want to. I want to see that one. I want to see them all. I just, like I
It's
said, I literally started this fandom like when DC released Batman vs Superman, I thought, oh, well, there's no home for me here. I got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not like I said, I'm not like saying like, oh, I'm not seeing Ant-Man. Like I actually had every intention to see it, and then I just didn't.
No, absolutely. So the second thing, obviously, I think that we see is financial consequences, not necessarily for us per se, but to the industry in general, right? So typically, when people start to, especially fans and audience members, start to feel that fatigue, the one thing that obviously they're not going to do is you're typically not going to keep buying tickets. If you're going to a sporting event, obviously, you're not going to be, buying a game. You're not going to be, buying those tickets to go see those movies. Or you're going to be spending more time on a different channel when you're watching TV, if you're starting to feel that fatigue. And at the end of the day, these are going to affect those franchises, which at the end of the day doesn't necessarily impact us, but it does impact the industry in definitely ways that I probably don't realize because I don't know much about the in-depths of that industry in that regard. But that is also something. And then lastly, for that, for impact industry is obviously creativity and originality. Those are the two big things. I think some of the most important things that are obviously impacted when you start to get this franchise fatigue is it seems like it's harder and harder to find to find new and fresh ideas or new content that you're surprised by. That surprise and delight is gone because you already have your in your mind, you already, before you even sit down to watch that movie or play that game, you're already saying, is this experience going to be different than the last one I did or the last one I played or the last one I watched? You already have these preconceived notions of how it's going to go. I feel like I'm very rarely surprised by whatever experience I'm going to have, whether it be a game, movie, or TV show. I feel like you can almost predict what's going to happen most of the time. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, I mean, I feel like, yeah, like everything you said. I mean, nothing's really surprising anymore.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. It's like when a lot of resources in the industries are and the attention is focused on existing franchises, a lot of times this limits new opportunities for new things to exist and for new stories to be told and for more artistic approaches to be told, because everybody keeps using the same cookie cutter approach. Because guess what? As these things continue to release, people still go see it and pay the money. They still buy the games. So at the end of the day, it's not impacting the industry if we're still going out and actively doing all these things.
Yeah.
And until they see a shift in the pattern, it's just going to be the same thing all the time with these AAA companies that are making the same games every year. The movie studios are releasing the same year or same movies every year, but with a different character or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like it really stifles the creativity and originality of the content we as consumers get, if that makes sense. That's why, like, a lot of times, and I know some people that's watching might agree with this, they might not, is some of the best gaming experiences that I've had this past year have been from studios that aren't AAA companies. That's been little indie games or a company, for instance, Hi-Fi Rush, made by the same company that does The Evil Within, right? They completely did a 180 and made a game that like they had never done before or anything like it. And it's been one of my favorite games this year, but it's unlike anything I've ever played. And they didn't just come out with another horror game, right?
They made The Evil Within?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They made The Evil Within 1 and 2. And then next thing you know, they're coming out with a rhythm-based fighting game that's like a comic book type game / anime. And it was amazing.
I need to play that.
Yeah. I mean, so it shows that like people can just pivot and do something completely different. Now, that's not to say that game maybe wasn't as popular to the masses as like what Evil Within or something like that was. That I do not know. But as far as from a consumer and like the experience it created for me, I loved it. So that's the thing about it is like, I think a lot of times these big companies are afraid to take risk and stray from that approach. You know what I mean? Are you reading that big long comment? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and put it up here. I already threw it. So Alex says, I think games are different though. It says they cost so much and many people only buy a couple of games a year. So if I have a franchise, I like what's safer. The same game with a ton of, I assume that's content, but newer, or or, and then it continues to say something that may flop for me and I lost $70. A movie is $15, so I get why games play it safe and make the same thing. I mean, that's That's a
That's a
fair.
very valid point.
That is a very valid point. Thank you for bringing that comment. You know, and I think that's the thing about, and this is completely kind of sidebar. The great thing about Game Pass, where you can try out games, like if you're just paying a monthly cost, and like if you play a game you don't like it, no big deal because you didn't shell out the $70 for it. And Mystique Siren, aka Emily, agrees with that comment as well. But yeah, I think that is a fantastic point when you think about how expensive games are getting now, and especially like with Steam, it's a little different. You play less than 2 hours of the game within 2 hours of the game within 7 days, you can just return it, right? I wish that a lot of other companies would follow suit with that as well. I think that would maybe instill a little people to take more of a risk on games. But you're right to that point. Sticking with a franchise that you know what you're going to get, you know, is better than maybe taking a risk on something you've never played before. So very good point. So next, is there anything else that you wanted to add there, Justin?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So next we wanted to talk about you know, mitigating what franchise fatigue is, and maybe what are some ideas that that maybe they can implement to kind of help this help with this problem. So I think obviously, and this kind of like carries over from the last conversation around creativity and originality. On the flip side of that, I think one thing is innovation and evolution, right? So if you're going to make the same type of game, like, are you doing enough to make that game, maybe it's the same but better? Are you improving on the platform? Are you completely switching it up? And are you innovating in that space, right? Just because you're successful in that doesn't necessarily mean every game needs to be the same. However, with that being said, and this is maybe just for me, innovation evolution doesn't mean give me so much in a game that I can't concentrate, or I get overwhelmed. So I know that it's easier said than done. I know that there's a fine line. Like if I'm saying like, give me more, make it better, but then I say, oh my God, it's too much. You know what I mean? So I understand it's not that simple. However, I do necessarily think that sometimes they throw so much content at you that maybe it covers up the fact it's just more of the same sometimes. You know, so I think it's important to find that happy medium, that balance there. You know, and I think that goes from, you know, obviously movies, TV shows, video games, you know, freshening up combat if you're playing a game, you know, I think a lot of times they need to prioritize this, I think, when they're coming up with games. So like fresh narratives, not having that be the same, maybe having more games where content carries over from one game to the other. I know Mass Effect was big for that. If you're just going to give me more of the same, like I know Assassin's Creed typically each tell their story, but there used to be a big overarching theme.
Yeah.
At least more so in the beginning. I don't know so much now in the later franchises. I'm not sure.
I think the sci-fi element's still there. I honestly like try to tune those parts out. Like I know like the first several had Desmond that kind of crossed over, but yeah, I forget what they're doing now. I'm sure there's some sort of gimmick.
Yeah. And I also think like I myself love really story-driven games, but also like story-driven games that have consequences, similar to like Mass Effect, also like Knights of the Old Republic, Fable. When your decisions matter, that's when I typically have the most fun. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of games and a lot of studios have went away from that, where here's a very linear story. I'm going to tell you which is fine, but I'm really excited for Fable, and I hope that we get a lot. I hope we get that. I hope that's not something to walk away and we're not just going through playing these Fable tale experiences. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Also think one of the things too is diversification, if I could say that. You know, I think studios and developers should diversify, obviously, their portfolios by, you know, investing in new properties. You know, I think about all these other studios that have the same like properties and games and movies that they're just solely cranking out every year. I think about, like you had mentioned, like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. Like when you think about Ubisoft, like how many new franchises or games do you really ever think about? I know we're getting a new Star Wars game, obviously.
An Avatar game, yeah.
Yeah, but
it's a bad time to ask that question, but
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, for
it used
the
to be like Ghost
time,
Recon and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, God bless. Ghost Recon is in the dumps right now. I mean, look at Rainbow Six. They just kind of keep upgrading that one. Ghost Recon, I feel like they've kind of abandoned.
Well, in Splinter Cell, like, I mean, I know that like
Yeah.
that obviously itself was a franchise at one point, but then when you think about some of the franchises that they just completely chose to walk away from, it feels like, which I know we're
Yeah.
supposed to be getting something, but
Who knows when?
yeah, who knows when?
They
So I
didn't show
think,
it.
yeah, so I think by diversification in regards to just like creating more new IPs, and just creating new stories to be told, I think will help as opposed to just relying solely on those titles that they turn out every year. And then obviously, I think, and I know this is something you're big on. I think we talked about this last episode was strategic release planning because you you made it abundantly clear that stop showing me stuff about a game unless you're going to tell me when it's coming out, right?
Yeah. If you're gonna give me a CGI trailer, I want a release window.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also
Period.
think there's two sides of that, right? So to your point, as a consumer, like you want to make sure they're always forthcoming with that information, that you
Yeah.
don't feel like they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes in regards of that. But I also think a part of strategic release planning is making sure that you're releasing games so that you don't feel like they're oversaturating the market with their franchises. I think that in itself is also part of that, not just being transparent when a game is coming out, but also being strategic about when they decide to bring a game out or games together as far as their other IPs go. I
Well, like
think,
I remember this is like just one example from the same company, and that's Bethesda. So like Bethesda like announced Fallout 4, and then like a few months later it came out. Like they announced it and it came out like real quick. And they did the same thing with Fallout 76. Then they announced Starfield and Elder Scrolls. I think we're at what, 6 now, 7?
yeah,
And Starfield, like 5 years later, is finally coming out, but Elder Scrolls, we're like going on year 7 and we've seen nothing. So like their strategy for really strategic release planning like doesn't seem to make any sense at all.
yeah, yeah. And to Justin's point, Justin, the one writing in, not Justin, the co-host, it says we got a trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 a few years ago and
5 years
nothing
ago,
since.
yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think obviously allowing sufficient time between installments, could really ignite an anticipation. Because I think a lot of times, to this point specifically, that when you announce something and then you don't follow up with it so long, people just tend to lose interest. And I think if they're really good about their messaging and their marketing and communications, I think this will really allow people to get excited and with these titles coming out, and you can make launches successful. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Because there's just certain franchises, like while I am excited about Fable, it's hard for me to maintain that excitement because I have no idea when it's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, what did you have anything else that you wanted to add before I close this section out?
No, I think we're good. I think we both kind of nailed all the points here. Yeah, I think we're good. And going to Fable, I know Mystique Siren, she mentioned Fable here. The fact that at the show they showed games and said coming 2024, and they didn't do that with Fable. I mean, we're not seeing that game before 2025. I don't think. I just hope I'm alive. I hope I'm alive when it comes out.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is they're going to release. Is it Star Citizen? Is that what they're working on?
Oh, Starfield.
Not
No,
yeah, Starfield. Yeah, Starfield.
Wrong company. Well, kind of the wrong.
Yeah. So I think what their idea is when Starfield comes out, that is supposed to hold everyone over until Fable comes out and Elder Scrolls for that matter. You know what I mean? As far as for Microsoft goes. But
Where's Perfect Dark? We got a CGI trailer for that a few years ago.
I know, that is true.
I swear.
Yeah,
I'm so sick and tired of CGI trailers.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So I guess to close out this section, I just want to say, so like, franchise fatigue, obviously, I think is a general concern, not only within the entertainment industry, but also I think, impacting movies, TV shows, video games, but also like, I think the repetitive nature, overexposure, and obviously diminishing quality, like we talked about, I think, that could really obviously lead to declining engagement, not only from consumer, but also in turn, has financial consequences like we talked about. However, I think like if studios can manage to obviously embrace like, innovation and I think like just up quality across the board and be better at not only planning, but also creating new IPs, I think maybe there would be some, fix to this. However, I'm not confident because at this point in time, I feel like everybody's just hungry for that sweet, sweet money, and I don't see that changing anything.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's not to say there's not certain franchises that I'm not excited for. Like I'm really excited for Ahsoka. But that's
Yeah.
one thing we never even really talked about is Star Wars. I also feel like is getting to the point where it's starting to become, a little bit of franchise fatigue for me just because they're cranking out content so much.
Same.
But what do you say before we get in the Knot of the Week? You let me go grab a couple trivia cards and we'll play.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple trivia questions with the audience members and you.
Okay. Do we have like elevator music or hold music to play, or am I just going to sit here and do stand-up comedy for a little bit?
Well, I mean, my cards are just around the corner, so you just need to give me a second. However, I am going to remove myself, so I'll be right back.
Oh boy! Oh, there he goes. So this is completely awkward. How are you all doing tonight? So, Kevin right away with the no. Yep, Travis is gone. That sucks. So, he's back already. That was quick. We got one comment while you're away. Kevin said no.
All right, I'm here.
So
Look, that wasn't bad at all. So, all right, so. Well, yeah, so this is for everyone to play. So you're going to have to control the comments while I read the cards. How about that?
Sure. Okay.
So we'll start with, I don't know if
Oh, wait, hang on. Justin wants me to tell a joke. What's green and has wheels?
Oh my God.
You know this one?
No.
It's my favorite joke.
Okay.
And it's so stupid.
Okay, let's.
Grass. I lied about the wheels. I don't know why
that is
so
the dumbest thing I have ever
Dude,
heard. Let me look.
That's my favorite joke.
I'm so fast. I even made a banner for trivia. Look how good I am. Okay,
can you make it larger.
So look, you're not gonna be able to. So this, as you can see, is Boomers. It looks like an 8-track. All right. So I'll tell you what. Everybody can type in the response in chat, and I'll tell you who's right. Okay.
Try to be quick because we don't know what kind of a delay we're on with you guys here.
Okay, that's fine. So
not you. Then I'm telling them to be quick.
Okay, you shut up. Nobody likes you.
Me?
Kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody likes you.
Jesus.
They hate me. All right. So your categories are. So we're gonna start with Boomer. Okay. So your categories in Boomer are TV and film, pop culture, music, headlines, or slang. Okay. So you just pick a category. Just tell me what you want.
You said pop culture?
Yeah, pop culture, TV and film.
TV and film.
Okay, TV and film. Name the Emmy-winning, fast-paced variety show featuring recurring roles played by Ruth Buzzy, Art Johnson, and Goldie Hawn and Lily Tomlin.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fridays?
Welcome to the Boomer world, bitch.
Is it Fridays?
No.
Okay, what is it? Well, hang on. I don't see anybody in the comments. Go. Oh, Laugh-In. Kevin says Laugh-In.
Oh, absolutely. It's Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In.
Oh, so Kevin's the Boomer. We found him. All right, I'm just kidding.
Let's go. All right, you want
Kevin.
pop culture?
Yeah. If Kevin can comment quickly, he can pick since he got that one right.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and tell. So, Kevin, you have TV and film, pop culture, music, headlines, and slang. So let me know if you want to.
From his
victory. Booyah is not a category, Kevin. So
well, I think that's part of the delay we were talking about. We should do this on Discord and stream the Discord channel.
Well, to be fair, so if you
we're not gonna put his comment up, but he says music. Was music one of them?
Okay. Yeah, music was one of them. All right. So music. This is a Boomer question. It says, to what magical place did your kisses take the 4 coins? Oh no. Yeah.
Oh no.
Now you know why this is such the Boomer section takes no prisoners. I'll tell you that. It is. And I wasn't planning for the delay. So this is what makes it different.
Do you have any millennial cards over there that you can read?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to switch eras pretty soon.
Okay. So millennial, Gen X, or Gen Z? You want millennial? Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm technically a millennial. I don't really know if where Gen X and Gen Z fall in the timeline of generations. So let's just do millennial.
All right. So
Kevin also says he has no idea. You stumped him.
Oh wow. Not a true Boomer then.
Give us the answer for that one though, if you still have it.
Yeah, it is Shangri-La. I don't know what that. Yeah. Anyways, so your category for millennial is TV and film, pop culture, music, headlines, or slang. They're always the same.
I'm gonna go TV and film. I feel good
All right.
about my millennial TV. And I shouldn't even say that because
All
I'm
right.
gonna get it
In
wrong.
what TV show did Kevin Arnold date Winnie Cooper?
The Wonder Years, one of the best shows of all time. There we go. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Kevin says he's right on the cusp of Boomerville.
All right. So, so you want to do TV, pop culture, music, headlines, or slang? I'll give you. We'll do two more.
Let's do pop culture.
Pop culture. Okay. Let's see here. Trying to think. Okay, what device was called the Jesus phone and popularized the term app?
What?
What device was called the Jesus phone and popularized the term app?
I have no clue. I've never even heard the term Jesus phone before.
Huh.
Is it something I'll know when you say it?
110%.
Oh God, no, that's not what I want to hear.
I knew this one.
Nobody in the
reason.
comment is.
There's a reason I know this one.
The
But we won't
Jesus phone.
Yeah.
And it popularized the term app. Why did it popularize the term app? Can you tell me that?
No, then that would give it away.
Okay, so oh wait, cell phone? That's what Kevin said. Kevin said cell phone.
That is incorrect.
Okay, I said who called it a Jesus phone? Just an iPhone?
Yes, iPhone.
What? Who on earth ever called that a Jesus phone?
Jesus himself.
Jesus
came down.
Christ said, "Here's this wonderful phone."
All right. So one more time, you want TV
Come
and
back
film,
to
pop
movies
culture,
and TV,
music?
my dude.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Jesus.
In the movie My Girl.
Oh, ooh, can't see without his glasses.
What type of allergic reaction caused Thomas's Jay's death?
Bees, my dude. Bees.
Yeah. Bees, my dude. The
Oh
bee's
my
knees.
gosh, what a great movie. We actually just restarted watching started rewatching Veep, and she is in that show as like one of the main characters, and it's kind of jarring to hear some of the words come out of her mouth. But
all right, I'm gonna let you pick, and I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna let you have me answer a question. What do you want me to do? TV and film, pop culture, music, headlines, or slang?
You pick. I got to pick mine. You pick yours.
Okay, I'm going.
By the way, Mystique, Siren, and Kevin both got the B question right.
But he can't see without his glasses.
Oh, Kevin says he's got one for us. Kevin, hang on. Go ahead and put that one in the comments while Travis reads one to himself. It doesn't cheat.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to do. Oh no, I'm going to.
Kevin, go ahead and type your answer in too, so we'll have it ready. He won't look.
All right, I'm going to do pop culture, I guess, just because I feel like that's my stronger suit. So, what country artist played Daisy Duke in the Dukes of Hazzard movie remake and famously asked if tuna was a chicken or fish on her reality show?
I know who this is.
I feel like this is a typo.
Singer. Yeah,
she's not a country singer, but I do believe it's Jessica Simpson.
I believe you're right. So Kevin's question is, Emily got that one right. Kevin's question is, what movie was The Good Son a remake of?
Oh, that is a good movie.
Don't look in the comments. Don't look in the comments.
So that is the one with Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I don't know.
The Bad Seed.
Oh, that's what I was told I was once.
Oh man,
bad face.
I actually thought about going there and I decided not to, but I'm glad you did.
All right,
I'm glad
we're gonna ask one more question to the audience, and this is gonna be. I'll tell you what. Let me switch. Let me switch it up here. So
we need to find some like royalty-free Jeopardy-esque music that we can play. And like do this while we wait for the comments to come in.
Oh no, my computer just. Oh, there it goes.
You're still there. You're good.
Went to sleep. I got real scared. All right, so we're gonna do Gen X question real quick, and I like the Gen X deck because it looks like a.
Is Gen X after millennial or before?
It's before. It's like 80s and 90s.
I don't know.
See, the cool thing about this, that's why these do the way they do. Tape deck, iPod.
Oh, I love that. What's this game called?
It's called Mind the Gap. Right now, just a tip. Right now, Target's doing buy two get one free on board games. I went crazy on board games, just so everyone knows.
Who is Target?
Target, yeah.
Target.
All right. So this is a Simpson. God, this is a question for the audience. If anybody wants to answer, and there will be a delay, so I'll understand that. Justin, pick the category for the audience. Do you want to do TV, film, pop culture, music, headlines, or slang?
Let's do. Am I allowed to answer also, or no? Just the audience.
We'll see if anybody answers in the
All
audience
right.
first.
Let's do music. Let's do music.
Music.
Well, I thought about headlines because it mix it up.
Even though the landlord may have to litigate, who wanted you not to worry and instead be happy? Oh, that's easy. Oh, no, it's not easy. It's not how I thought it was. All right. So even though the landlord may have to litigate, who wanted you to not worry and instead be happy? It wants the artist's name, essentially.
I don't know the artist's name.
All right. We'll see if anybody in the audience does. This is definitely not.
Is it the little frog? No, I'm just kidding.
Who, Kermit?
No, don't worry. The little.
Oh, yeah. No.
Kevin says Bobby McFerrin.
That is 100%. While I will not get you for spelling. That is correct. It is a FE instead of a FR or FA. I mean. So yeah, good one. And we'll go ahead and ask you. We'll do slang on this. I'll tell you what. I'll just ask all the ones on this card, and we'll move on. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, does the board game look like it has?
Yes.
Okay. Like
I have the
Fever, and
I have the board game right here. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Also, I was playing this game with Alex last night. And he said he was reading a question, and it was, I think, Saturday Night Fever or something. It said, what actor? And he meant to say strutted, but he said stuttered. Stuttered his way across the dance floor, and I was just like, we were just laughing because I was like, and he was just doing that constantly because he was stuttering. But anyways, that's needed. Guess you would have had to have been there. But anyways, right, slang, and everybody's gonna get this one. What Jack Nicholson line became a catchphrase from the movie A Few Good Men? You know this one, don't you?
I know this one, but I'm gonna let the comments pour in first. Kevin will get this one.
Yeah,
Kevin will definitely have this one.
Now, Kevin.
He's probably logged off. He's probably not even watching anymore.
Yeah. Everybody's logged off at this point.
They have. We actually don't have any comments. So,
don't want to know. The truth. That's
Kevin.
Actually wrong.
Yeah, Kevin, that's wrong. It's you can't handle the truth.
That is correct. Yes.
Siren got it.
Let's go.
She knows what's up.
All right. So let's go ahead and do headlines. It says, what passenger carrying commercial supersonic jet made its first transatlantic flight in 1973 with a regular service beginning in 1976? I know this one.
Emily said she's killing demons. Sorry. I'm gonna wait a second. I think I know, but I may not know.
I bet you do.
Is it?
Here, I'm gonna switch my background. See if y'all what you know about this.
Emily says 747. They both said 747.
It's a brand, not a jet. It's the actual
Boeing.
Brand. Nope, that is wrong. It's Concorde. They're no longer around anymore.
They crashed. I believe they had a big crash. I think in the 90s.
All right, here we go. Pop culture. Look at this little thing going around my head. I love it. All right. Anyways. I actually made this. You see it? Look, Nerds made it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you like that?
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Anyways, what Broadway hit in 1977 had Americans singing "Tomorrow" and "It's a Hard Knock Life for Us"? I know what this is. You know what this
Cats?
is?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you know what this is.
I know. It's a freebie.
It's
an easy one.
Freebie. But yeah, we'll do this. What I'll do is I'll tell you what we could do, honestly.
We got Annie from both of them. Kevin and Emily both said Annie. They got it right.
Yeah, let's go. All right. And then all right. What popular country music TV variety show was hosted by Roy Clark and Buck Owens? Oh, yeah. I know this one.
Is it like the I'll say what I think it is when the comments roll in.
All right, here is I decided I'm gonna forlong this just for a few more questions because I just got a really good idea to see. I'm gonna ask.
Kevin says hee haw.
That hee haw. That's
her haw. He says her haw. Never mind.
It's hee haw. All right. I thought it'd be a good idea. I'm gonna pull out 4 Gen Z cards and I'm gonna ask solely slang words.
Oh Jesus Christ! Okay.
I feel like this will be fun.
Oh boy.
All All right. You ready?
I know.
All right, here we go. What was the Gen Z synonym to the phrase "Let's get this bread"?
What? You mean acronym or synonym?
It says synonym. It says, what was the Gen Z synonym for the phrase "Let's get this bread"?
I don't know.
Does anybody know? Nobody's gonna know
Oh, this is like makes me feel bad about myself. Well,
it's Gen Z, baby. You're not gonna feel bad.
at the same time, I feel kind of okay.
Yeah, it's
I've heard that phrase, but I didn't know like
Swifties.
oh, money.
No, Swifties is what this says.
Swifty. Like what? Swifties.
That's what it says. It could be wrong. But
Kevin says get stacks. Emily said money. Let's
It's
get
just-
this money.
It
Swifties?
says. Oh, you're
You
not
can't
gonna
see
see
it.
that.
Yeah,
God,
you can't see
man,
it.
yeah, it says Swifties on it. It could be wrong.
That's like what
Anyways.
Taylor Swift fans are though. Is that?
Oh
can't be
wait,
right.
this is a misprint. We had this issue last night
Is
because
this game
the
bad?
very next one was what were obsessed fans of Taylor Swift called? Well, we know.
Oh, so it's misprinted. They printed the answers on
It's
their
the
own
second
card.
time this has happened. All right. What popular beauty store's tagline was "Let's beauty together"? Do you know
Ulta?
this?
I don't know.
Hashtag Sephora.
I don't know.
All right. Oh, this is a good one because this is a meme. Complete this catchphrase. Complete this catchphrase. I'm a.
Oh, so Emily wanted to know what the answer was, but we don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't tell us.
I think
so.
it meant get. I think it meant make money.
I think the money one's probably right because I have heard that before.
Yeah, yeah. All right, but what's that? What's a finish a statement? I'm a
bounce. I don't know.
Think about the SpongeBob theme.
Kevin
The SpongeBob meme.
All right, I'm going to tell you something between you and me. I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob.
I haven't either. It's fine.
So I don't know what that.
All right, but anyways, no. He doesn't say
I'm a head out.
Yeah, I'm a head
I do.
out.
I have seen the meme. I'm a head out.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna head out. All right, let's see here. Last one. I just saw this boat. I just sawed this boat in half was a phrase used on a TV commercial. What will be used to repair that boat?
I don't know. Gum?
You don't know this?
What's that?
Flex tape, baby.
I was gonna say that on the side of the container, but I didn't know the name of it.
All right. Well, we'll end it there. We'll end the trivia there, unless anybody's got any trivia they want to drop on us. But,
Flex Seal, according to Emily.
You're Flex.
Oh, and Kevin. Man, they both are like on at the same time.
I know they are. And how is Emily slaying demons and playing trivia at the same time? She's great at
the demons are killing her, and she's playing trivia.
I don't think that's true.
That's not true.
Yeah, see, this is the board if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. Okay.
I see. Yeah. But anyways,
so I'm gonna have to buy this.
Yeah, minus the misprints. Maybe I'll go back and exchange mine. But anyways, all right. I guess it's let's go ahead and get into you know what time it is. It's time for that. Not of approval. Don't even play, bro. Don't even play. We don't. That's not how we do things here.
That's not how we do things anymore.
All right. Do you want me to go first? Did you ever figure out if you had a not of?
Did you just rip one?
No, it's my chair.
Okay.
I wish I ripped one. I probably feel better about myself.
Owen has started this thing where he'll go, I let it rip. It's like the funniest
He
thing.
said, I just let it rip.
He goes, I let it rip. It's so funny the first time he did that.
I let a stinker.
I made a toot.
Look at Justin coming in here. Look at this. Look at him coming here with that.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to let it die.
He's not. He's not going to do it.
Can't die. Can't
All
die.
Right.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with the Final Fantasy 16 demo. I might pick Silo in a couple weeks.
Big surprise.
I know, and it sucks too because next week I'll go, spoiler alert, it's going to be Final Fantasy 16, but it's just really good. And I've had this conversation with a few of my friends that have played the demo, and I think there's a chance it's the best looking PS5 game, although I'm not sold yet. I think it's definitely like in the top 3. There's just so much going on. The particle effects are absolutely perfect, and the frame rate remains pretty steady. So, and it maintains that graphical fidelity. So, like, it just looks great. I'm playing on performance mode, and it looks amazing. So, Not to mention the high five. Not to
Yeah.
mention.
Just be raising my hand because I wanted to remind you to talk about something with it. You
Go
wanted to
ahead,
talk
remind me.
about the lore feature.
Oh yeah. The active. Oh shoot, what's it called? The active lore time, something like that.
Wow, you're so
Basically,
excited you can't remember.
well, no, it's really cool, but I forgot the name of it.
I'm gonna look it up while you talk. Keep going.
So there's a feature, like on Amazon Prime when you're watching a show and you pause it and it's like, oh, this scene has Jack Black and Colin Hanks and bonus points if you can guess the movie that I'm giving X-ray stats to. But it kind of does that, except it breaks down like, well, the location you're at and all the characters in the
Active
scene.
time lore.
Active time lore and like what's going on. It's like if at any point you're like, who the F is this guy? Hold on the touchpad and it's like, oh, click on him. It's like,
This
oh,
is during
this is
cutscenes too, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like it's just really nice to have that information like readily available, like the X-ray feature on Amazon Prime. So,
Yes.
Did anybody guess the movie that I referenced with Jack Black and Colin Hanks?
Jack Black and Colin Hanks.
Not even a good movie, but for some reason, it's the first one that popped into my mind whenever I started talking about Orange County.
Orange County.
From years and years and years ago. Emily has a nod of approval. It's Diablo 4.
Yeah, she's been cranking it out. I watched her play for about 45 minutes to an hour the other night, and she was slaying, as the kids say. That's another slang. Slaying.
I remember when people used to say fleek, and that's when I said
that is on fleek.
That was when I decided to stop keeping up with slang. I was like, that's the dumbest word I've ever heard.
Yes.
Never. I'm just not gonna try.
Yes. So a couple things. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. So my pick of the week, my nod of approval. What about Justin? What have you done to me?
Oh, real quick. Kevin says Jack Nicholson and Jack Black. Can you guess the movie?
God, this is trivia heavy. I
don't think I've ever seen the two of them in a movie together.
Is this 7 Degrees of Jack? I don't know. It's not the Holiday. That's a good movie though.
Oh shoot, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen them in a movie before.
I don't know.
Kevin, you gotta tell us. Let us know in the comments.
Mars Attack.
Oh yeah, he is in that movie. I forgot. Oh man, that movie was great.
That's a pretty good one.
That movie.
That's a pretty good one. Man. You know what I say to that? Let me get.
Oh yeah. Break
that out for you, baby. All right, so my pick of the week. Oh, that's the wrong one.
I did not do that.
No, that's me. But anyways, so mine is what should it be? What should it be? I've already picked Silo, so that's not it. Honestly, this is gonna sound really crazy. It's not gonna be my Asus Ally because that is not cheap, and I can't recommend that just to everybody who wants to go out and buy one. So mine is going to be it's gonna sound crazy. Are you ready?
It already does.
I think you should leave.
Oh yeah, that was mine last week.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, I didn't think I would like it at first. Now, don't get me wrong, not every sketch hits, but most do. No. It's like honestly, for me, 75% of them would probably hit, but there's definitely like a handful. I'm just like, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, there's some that I'm like, man, I can check out.
But let me tell you, the one about the guy that tinkled on himself and had the spots. Yeah, the fact that they made that a real website, and I sent it to you, I was like, "This is hilarious." The fact they went that far to make the real site, I was like, "That's hilarious." But if you're looking for a good comedy show, like a sketch comedy show, just to kind of put on and just watch and kind of mindlessly laugh, yeah, I think You Should Leave is a really good show. You should check out. I guess my second nod of approval, if anybody is looking for a nerdy card game to get into just recently, because I've gotten back into Magic the Gathering, you should definitely check out Magic the Gathering. They actually have a couple packs that you can buy that are already pre-built. So I think if you want to get into it, you can definitely do it. Especially if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, that stuff officially releases on the 23rd. A lot of comic shops and card shops are doing pre-sales right now, so you can go and buy some. And the artwork is absolutely amazing on these cards as well. But if you would like to find out if Magic the Gathering is for you, download the free app from the App Store, Magic the Gathering Arena. because you can play the digital version. If you like the digital version, decide you want to get into the physical card version, you can. One cool thing is sometimes when you buy the cards, they'll come with a code inside the box and you can redeem that deck inside of the game. So not only do you have it physically, but you also can play with it in game as well. So that's what I would recommend. Did you have some comments pop up there?
So
Jess?
Kevin said Burn with Steven Yeun. I think, do you mean Beef? I haven't heard of Burn.
Yeah, Beef is really good.
Beef is like one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I really hope we get another season.
I
really do.
If Burn is something different, tell me, because I've never heard of that one, but I like Steven Yeun quite a bit.
Yeah.
Emily says that Jesse plays every weekend. He plays CDH, which stands for something.
I assume I'm wondering if she's talking about Magic, if she's talking about Commander, possibly.
Commander.
Yeah, there's a couple. Well, it's still Magic the Gathering, but it's Commander is a different play style.
Okay. Kevin maybe was talking about Beef, and I agree. Beef is brilliant.
Beef is what's for dinner, honestly, and
good show.
Yeah, and Mystique did confirm 10 out of 10 is Commander. So yeah. But yeah, check it out if you looking to play a card game. Obviously, they 100 deck versus 60s, absolutely, and it centers around a hero character.
So I'm going to tell a funny story real quick while Kevin's here. Kevin and I, when we worked at King's, well, I'm not going to name the place. We worked at a place, and we played this mobile game called, I think it was called Valor, and it was like a mobile, like almost like an MMO in a way. I don't really know how to describe it, but basically, like you have like your little, I can't even remember all the details, but like I think you had like your little city, and like you're part of like a bigger team, right? And usually the servers would be dominated by like 2 or 3 big teams, and I forget why, but I like totally turned. Yeah, Kevin says yes. I like turned on my team and like started selling information to the other team, and then they ratted me out. So it was all for nothing. I had no team. Kevin said, "Can you bring me on?" No, we can't do that. I don't think we're set up for that. But it was just like the craziest, thing. And that game was fun. We used to play that like late night at the place that we worked at.
Yeah,
and it was like a really good time. But yeah, they had like it wasn't a Discord. It was like another chat service that they would like take it very seriously.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good time.
Yeah, that's a good time. I will say, Mystique Siren says that Jesse, which is her boyfriend, also is really into Warhammer. Just like Henry Cavill, I assume he loves Warhammer. Just want to give Emily, aka Mystique Siren, a shout out. If you don't know her, she has been on the podcast several times. Also, she has her own channel over at Twitch that she streams to, plays video games almost every night. Super chill to just go out and hang out. It's a good vibe, good time. So if you don't follow her, have watched her content, just make sure you pop over and support her and check her out as well. So Emily, appreciate you stopping by. But Justin, is there anything else that you had before we close out here?
I think I'm good.
You think you're good?
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, fair enough. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone, obviously, for stopping by and hanging out with us tonight. It's always a pleasure when people come and, just chill out, hang with us, write in the comments, and just, kick it with us. It's always fun getting to interact as opposed to just, because I'll tell you, I like Justin, but I don't like talking to Justin all the time. So the fact that we have these people in here interacting makes it so much more of an enjoyable experience. Also, Justin, I'm so glad you asked. It's a comment from Justin. God, I almost thought I was going to get out of it. Actually, no. I have good news for you, sir. I don't know if you have Instagram, but if you follow us on Instagram, and I need to double check to see if it's on our Facebook, but there's a link to our link tree. If you click on that, if you tap on that link tree link, it'll take you there. And there's a little icon for Discord. If you tap on that, what the heck are you doing?
I was trying to find the Discord on my desktop. Instead, I showed you on my gut.
Wow, that is not that kind of podcast, my dude. That is not that kind of podcast,
I can't see
guy.
my icons. I can't find my icons.
That is a little awkward.
Yeah,
but anyways,
at least I have pants on.
At least one of us do. That's why I had to turn my camera off when I left. No, I'm just kidding. But with that being said,
turn my video off.
Yeah. If you go to our Facebook or Instagram, there is a link to our link tree there. If you click on that link tree, and if it's not there, I'll make sure to put our link tree link up there after the show. But if you tap on that, that will take you to all of our social medias and everything. You'll notice that there is a little icon that looks like Discord. If you click on that, that will take you to our Discord and you can join there. Just make sure that you read the guidelines and requirements and you agree to all that stuff, hit continue, and you're in there like swimwear. I don't know why.
What does that even mean?
That's just a saying. You're in there like swimwear. I
I've
don't know
never heard that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Oh, speaking of which, all right, I have 6 people in the comments, right? And I
Okay.
need, if you haven't commented tonight, I need you to comment. And Justin, I need you to answer this question as well. I have been having a debate with someone for at least 2 weeks,
Okay.
right? I'm going to pose a question and I need you to put in the chat your response. And I'm not going to say anything to lead you to say a certain thing.
Are you talking to me or the other Justin?
I'm talking to everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. This is to help settle a debate. If I was to ask you, what are the swimming shorts that guys go swimming in? What would you call them? So please put that in the chat. And Justin, you can tell me your response as well.
You've already asked me this question. I answered it.
Yeah. And you said,
Trunks.
I think what I expected, right?
Trunks.
Yes, trunks.
Trunks. Yeah.
What does anybody else call that's jams? Jams. I've never heard swimming trunks called jams.
Must be a boomer thing.
No, he would have called him a bathing suit.
I'm just kidding, Kevin.
Oh no, other Justin said
Zwerner
bathing
did say bathing suit. Yeah. Zwerner, where are you from? What state are you in? I wonder if it's like a regional thing.
I want to say he's from Kentucky, if I remember right, but I could be wrong.
I thought he was on the West Coast for some reason.
Oh, maybe he is on the West Coast.
I wonder if it's like a regional thing, like how some people call it like, wait, what? Oh, Kevin.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like, like some people call it soda, some people call it pop, some people just call it Coke, even if it's like Sprite.
I don't know.
I don't either.
All I know is if I'm hanging out with my guys and I'm saying, oh man, I'm gonna go throw my swimming trunks, I'm not saying, hey guys, I'm gonna throw my jams
or my bathing suit.
Hey guys, I'm gonna put on my bathing suit, be right back. No,
Kevin,
I'm not gonna do that.
Zwerner's in Michigan, from Michigan, but now lives in Nevada.
Nevada? You live in Vegas? You try to have me and Justin come visit, baby?
I knew Kevin was in Kentucky. I've never heard it called James though, so
yeah,
I don't know if there's a cultural divide here.
Now Mystique also said trunks, so at least we have one person in the audience that says trunks. But anyways, I just had to ask, but I appreciate it. Oh, he does live in Vegas. Let's go.
Oh shoot.
Oh, next time Justin and I in Vegas, we will look you up, good sir.
I'm down to ruin my life. No, just kidding.
Again. They are just above the knee. So
that's just trunks though.
James? No. I got a joke for you before we go, Justin. Since Kevin asked us to tell a joke, I got a joke for you.
Oh God. We're gonna get canceled.
What's the reason I have a printer and I call it Bob Marley? Do you know why?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why?
Because it always be jamming.
You should just delete your entire existence. That was terrible.
Okay, I'll eat myself out the window. But anyways, we're coming up on an hour and 30 minutes. God. We appreciate everybody hanging out. We've had, I think, people here the whole time. I cannot thank you enough for coming and hanging out with us. We try to do this every week. Justin, are you good to record the same time next week?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So as always, I want to thank everyone for joining in. Justin, I think I just checked Facebook and I do not see that LinkedIn link there. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, go there. But I'll add the LinkedIn to our Facebook right now.
Linktree?
Linktree. I keep saying LinkedIn. Nobody wants to go to my LinkedIn account. That's just boring. But anyways, with that being said, I appreciate everyone stopping by, hanging out in the comments, being involved in the conversation. But we look forward to seeing you next week. And as always, if you have any ideas for the show, please write in, comment, let us know. Whatever form of communication you prefer, just reach out to us and send us in topics, send us in ideas for format changes, whatever it is you would like to see for the show that you think the mass audience would, really enjoy. Feel free to let us know. So just wanted to mention that. And also, I just love you guys so much. Always big one of those. Can you do that, Justin?
I'm not going to.
Oh, you'll show us your gut, but you won't do one of these? Got your ass.
Oh, you
Anyways,
did. You did.